Guys, we are less than 13 hours away. I believe actually exactly 13 hours away to the start of Buffalo Bills training camp. That's right, training camp starts tomorrow, June 25th at 9:30 a.m. I hope that you are all ready. I'm going to give you all a minute to get in here. Very exciting time. Obviously, we've been waiting for this for a long time, or at least it feels like a long time, right, guys? It feels like it's been forever since we've had NFL training camp, or at least any NFL football. Anthony, welcome to Believers Talk. Glad you're here, man. Always glad to see you. King Cam, always good to see a Myth. Glad that you can make it in here. I know sometimes it's rough for you, but glad to see you in here. Like I said, I'm going to give everyone a minute to get in here as we get ready for NFL Buffalo Bills training camp. Guys, I cannot wait. I'm excited. Going to be with you for a little while at least, just to go over some training camp things, maybe some training camp battles, some things to look forward to as we start training camp, injuries to avoid. We'll go around the league. We'll talk about some of the things that I'm happy that we don't have to talk about with the Buffalo Bills. Talking about holdouts. Ronald, Nomo, welcome, guys. No injuries, exactly, Nomo. We're going to talk no injuries, hopefully, as there's been some people who have already been hurt. We talk about the Falcons have lost, I think, 2 guys already for the season. You want to talk about failed drug tests. I was just reading up on some NFL news, and a Titans player, I'll get to him in a second, failed his drug test. Mark Davis, welcome to Believers Talk. Again, guys, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, 2019 is going to be a fantastic year. Not just here at Believers Talk, but for you guys, the fans. I'm very excited about 2019. We talk about our partnership with www.bewarethestampede.com. Guys, you want to go to this website. It's your one-stop shop for all Buffalo Bills news. You're talking about salary cap stuff. You're talking about stadium information. You're talking about roster. And especially now training camp, right? The roster is going to constantly keep changing, so you want to be on there. And I know Jeremy and Jason, who are part of Team Stampede, baby, they're going to be at training camp handing out stickers just like this one. So if you see them, say hi for me, and also be sure that you can get your hands on some of these stickers. I know we just got some new ones out, so awesome job, guys. Keep up the good work. But go www.bewarethestampede.com. Man, we're going to have my content's going to be on there, of course. We all know how much you guys love that. Also, we're going to have some writing on there. We have some writers. Jason's writing some new pieces on there. It's going to be a great season. And then you talk about podcasts. We might have a podcast on. Jeremy's working on that. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So just go there. And that's not the only partnership that Believers Talk is having in 2019. Also partnering with Hashtag Sports over at sportscaster.com. We're going to make sure to give you the best play-by-play reaction coverage to every single Buffalo Bills game. So you want to make sure to go to sportscaster.com. That's sportscaster just without the last E at the end. And then if you look down in the description below, you'll see the channel for Hashtag Sports. And if you're not following Hashtag Sports on YouTube, guys, Mario and Paul, great guys. They know what they're talking about. You want to hit that subscribe button here, and then go over there, hit that subscribe button there. Hit that like button. Thank you, Ronald. Absolutely, guys. I'm letting everyone get into this room. If you want to ask some questions, we'll get to your questions, guys. I'm very excited. Don't know if you can tell, but I am very excited about what's to come. Like I said, less than 13 hours now as it starts 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, June 25th. Very excited. We saw on Twitter and on Instagram, Josh Allen was showing himself coming into camp. They're at the facility. They're ready to go. Like was said earlier by Nomo, you want to make sure that there's no injuries. That's the biggest concern. You know, I want to talk about that a little bit. We all know injuries are going to happen, right? And you look at a lot of positions. The good news, I guess you could say, is there's a lot of depth at some really key positions. Look at the wide receiver. Let's say, for example, Josh Brown, Cole Beasley go out, right? It's going to stink. It always stinks when you lose a player. But there's that depth there, right? You talk about running backs. Let's say LeSean McCoy gets hurt early in training camp. Well, we have depth there now. And again, losing LeSean McCoy might stink, but the sting might be a little alleviated knowing that we have good backups. And obviously, you lose your starting quarterback. You lose some key pieces here or there, right? It's going to hurt every team. But we need to make sure these key guys stay intact. That's why those quarterbacks wear those red jerseys, right? In training camp, we're not going to talk about almost 800 subs. Would love to get to 800 subs during this live stream. I look forward to it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, lots of good things coming at you on Believers Talk. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, we'll make sure I have you covered on all Buffalo Bills news. Not just Bills news, Buffalo sports, guys. You see I have my Sabres logo back there, my Bills logo over there. I do the Buffalo Buttes. I do the Buffalo Bandits. Buffalo Bandits are doing a little bit better as the season's winding down there as well. Obviously, the Buffalo Bandits, everyone was talking about them back when Vlad Guerrero Jr. was there, right? And now that Vlad Guerrero Jr. is not there, a little less pop in the bats over with the Buffalo Bandits, but we knew he wasn't going to be there for long, guys. But I do try to keep covering on all Buffalo sports. So follow me on Twitter, and also, like I said, subscribe to this channel. And guys, now is the perfect time to subscribe. I talked about my partnership with BewareTheStampede.com. Well, we are also giving away this Andre Reed autographed helmet, guys. Go to www.BewareTheStampede.com. Bunch of ways to enter, so you want to make sure to log your entries there. We did it on BewareTheStampede.com, so that way if you're already subscribed to Believers Talk, you can go on there and still submit your entry. Okay, we don't want to say that, oh, if you're already subscribed, you don't have a chance to win this awesome Andre Reed autographed mini helmet. So go on there and go ahead and get yourself in that sweepstakes, so we can definitely do that. That sweepstakes isn't going to end until August 6th, the end of training camp, and then when I do my training camp recap video, we will be giving that away. So again, if you're already subscribed, that does not mean you cannot enter to win this, guys. Follow us on Twitter. We will be tweeting about the contest every single day. If you retweet and then go and enter on BewareTheStampede.com, you can get an entry every day. Every day. So you get as many entries as you want. And again, just because you're already subscribed, just because you're already on the Beware the Stampede mailing list, just because you already follow us on Twitter, that does not mean you cannot enter to win this awesome prize. So go to www.BewareTheStampede.com and enter to win that helmet. So again, guys, we're going to talk about training camp. Substitute, if you haven't already, who's going to be the number 800? Anthony, that's a great question. And yeah, like Myth/King Cam just said, smash that like button. It really helps out the channel, guys, if you hit that like button. And then, guys, if you have comments, if you have questions about what to look for in training camp, we'll get to that. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit. I'm not going to be able to eat my turkey dinner until after the Thanksgiving game. I get nervous. Yeah, it's funny, I actually talked to my family. I said, guys, would you rather me live stream from the house, or would you rather me live stream alone? Because I am definitely, unless, again, we're going to schedule this with hashtag sports. If hashtag is going to the Thanksgiving game, then I'll happily enjoy my Thanksgiving watching it on YouTube with hashtag sports. However, if that's me on the schedule, then I'm going to be more than happy to bring that to you guys on Thanksgiving Day, as we will beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Cowboys have won, I think, 3 straight Thanksgiving Day games. It's time for them to lose one, and they picked the right time to lose it against the Buffalo Bills. I look forward to seeing the schedule. We can even talk about the schedule, guys. It's a little weird starting in the same stadium, and it's not home stadium the first 2 weeks of the season, but I kind of like that too. Get out of New Jersey as fast as you can. You never want to be around teams with an identity crisis for too long. You'll start feeling like you might get an identity crisis. We'll start thinking we're from Canada, eh? And we don't want to do that. No offense, Canada. Love Canada. But we are here in Buffalo. We can talk about the new stadium, the potential of getting a new stadium. If Roger Goodell is actually bluffing, which I think he is, when he says, if Buffalo doesn't move soon, then we'll be forced to move the location. I just don't believe that. Forced to move the team. I just really don't believe that. But again, guys, thanks for joining me. Again, less than 13 hours away now from training camp. Very excited. Let's talk about some of those position battles, right? It's nice to know we don't have that quarterback battle. Nice to know we're not going to flirt with Nathan Peterman week 1, so we can throw 5 interceptions in the first half or whatever it was. Our quarterback is on lockdown. That's Josh Allen, and I'm very excited about that. We're all very excited about Josh Allen. Last year at this time, lots of questions. There's still some questions about Josh Allen, but now he has much better weapons to get the ball. Why do we have to move? We don't have to move. The thing, so Roger Goodell we'll start there. Roger Goodell came to Terry Pegula and said, if you guys don't look at getting a new stadium and a new location, we're going to talk about moving the team. It's a bluff, guys. It's an absolute bluff. They can't do that. They literally can't do that. In order for that to happen, you'd have to get votes from the NFL owners. I think they need 2/3 votes from the NFL owners to to remove you as the owner of a team. It's something ridiculous like that. At least that's what happened. Remember in the NBA, the LA Clippers owner, he made a racist comment or something like that. They still had to vote to have him booted as the owner. So that's what it would take. I'm not worried about that because if you remember last year we did a video, the Bills are already looking into it. The Bills are looking into a new stadium. And I know Hashtag Sports, again, they did a video on this talking about it, so I don't know the specifics. But they're going to wait till a collective bargaining agreement. The Bills are going to wait till a collective bargaining agreement because in the collective bargaining agreement, the NFL agrees to help teams out when it comes to spending money on new stadiums. That money has been spent for the last created the bargaining agreement, and so they're going to wait, and that's fine, and I think that's okay to do that. I mean, right now the stadium, we love the stadium, but we know that things are changing around the stadium. We know that there's renovations, they're changing the tailgating, things like that, right? So we know it's going to happen, and I know some fans are going to be disappointed about it. Like, if it's a dome, most of us would be disappointed about it. But at the same time, hey, the team's still in Buffalo, right? The team's still in Buffalo. It doesn't mean we can't still have a great time. I heard someone saying, it might have been Hashtag Sports, Mario said, what if they had a dome? So it was a dome when the game wasn't being played, but then you could open it up during the game. So that way you could still play in the conditions. You can play in the snow, you can play in the rain, but you don't have 3 feet of snow on your chair when you go to sit down. That would be a great idea too. I think Buffalo should get a new stadium. They should probably have it ready to go by 2023. That's when our lease is up. Absolutely. No, that's right, Ronald. I mean, by 2023 our lease is up. Retractable dome, absolutely no more. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. 2023 our lease is up for the current stadium. By that time it'd be nice maybe start 2021 because the collective bargaining agreement is before 2023, so it's actually like a perfect timing, right? Perfect fit, right? So I think the collective bargaining agreement ends 2021, 2022, and that's when you go ahead and start that new stadium and have it ready for the 2023 stadium. And the great thing about teams that get a new stadium, a lot of times they don't play a lot of their home games till later in the season just to make sure that the builders have enough time to make sure the stadium's up to code. And people might not like coming to Buffalo in December. We know that we have 3 home games, week 7, 8, 9. We have 3 home games back to back to back. Right after our bye, we're basically spending a month at home, which is nice, but it also means for a rough stretch towards the end of the schedule. So we'll see what happened. It will probably have a retractable roof so we can still have snow games. It probably will. I think we won't have any games like the Colts last season, right? Or 2 seasons ago, I should say. I don't think the NFL wants that. The NFL wants to see a packed house. So if it's just snowflakes or a steady snow, they might leave the door open or the roof open. But I definitely think if we're talking blizzard conditions, they're gonna keep it shut. That's my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Hey, Fox87, welcome to Believers Talk. Always good to have you on there, guys. Guys, if you were subscribed to Fox87 previously, be sure to know that he, something happened with his channel, so you want to go back to this channel now. It's Fox87 Talk Anything, and he is still doing a great job over there. Toronto Blue Jays fan. He talks about the Bandits. He talks about the Sabres, and he talks about the Bills. He does a great job. So welcome, Fox87. Always good to have you on here, and it's always good to see you. So again, guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. I know that the game was incredibly crazy, but if you go back and watch it, the wasn't exactly filling the seats. I mean, we win in overtime on McCoy Rush. I remember that game. I remember where I was for that game. I remember some season ticket holders I know trying to give tickets away, but since I don't live in the Buffalo area, I didn't think that was a great time to travel to Buffalo and try to get home from Buffalo so I can get to work the next day. But I remember where I was. I remember watching that game. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait for camp. You're going Friday. Hey, Randy, have a great time. I wish I could be there. Like I said, I am now part of Team Stampede, www.bewarethestampede.com. Jeremy from bewarethestampede.com is going to be there. I think Jason is too. Going to be handing out stickers. I got some of the stickers here. Going to be handing these out, guys, for you guys. So make sure if you see them, say hi. If you don't know what they look like, go to their website. I'm sure they're going to have something to say who they are. So make sure you go to the website, check them out, and then also go, if you see them, say hi. They have some new stickers out and things like that, so go ahead and get yourself a sticker, a magnet, whatever it is. You think they'll keep open that game? Maybe. Again, I just don't. And maybe, it doesn't matter if you keep it open or closed. Like, let's imagine that they had a dome for that Colts game, and they kept it closed. Well, people still don't want to be driving in that kind of weather, right? I mean, I remember pictures and videos of watching Buffalo fans trying to help each other get out of the parking lot. So maybe put a dome around the parking lot instead of the stadium, so that way people have a better place to park. But then that would hurt the tailgating too. So all these things have to be considered, and of course, location matters, right? You can't just put it wherever you want. Location matters, and so that is what they're going to be looking at as well. So we'll see what happens. But again, guys, let's talk about some of the position battles for training camp. Talk about that wide receiver position. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure John Brown, maybe Zay Jones, number one. We know the 4 guys that are going to be there, but who's going to be considered the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? I don't know. I think John Brown, Robert Foster, Zay Jones, Cole Beasley, they're all the top 4 guys, right? I think we all can pretty much agree on that. But where do they fit? Who goes where? I mean, John Brown obviously might be that number 1 guy considered in the roster depth chart number 1, because he's going to be your burner. He's going to be able to go out and get it. And you know what? We all saw Buffalo Bills Embedded. I hope we all did. If you haven't, go check it out. Really good, really well done. But like I said in my last video, again, guys, remember, they're only going to let us see what they want us to see. They're not going to do anything to let us in on any secrets, or let other teams, other GMs, other coaches in on any secrets going on in Buffalo before training camp. So also good to see the camaraderie of other players. We saw Josh Allen and some of the other guys out for dinner. Again, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It does a great job showing you the draft room during the NFL draft. It goes over some OTA stuff, things like that. It's a lot of fun. Well done. Really good job on everyone's part. You wish we were going, hey Ronald, I'll talk to Jeremy. We'll see what we can do, man. We'll see if we can hook you up. Again, follow us on Twitter, both Beware the Stampede and also Believers Talk, of course, and chat with us on there. Happy to talk to you, and we'll see if we can get you hooked up. And I know Jeremy's always giving them away too. He's doing new things, keeps giving them away, and we have some other surprises in 2019. So keep an ear out, because I tell you what, like I said, there's plenty of great things coming around in 2019. So you'll make sure you stay tuned. I know I'm going to be going to the Bills-Eagles game, so you want to make sure that if you're going to that, we can hook up at that time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know I'm going to have a good time there. But you want to make sure that you keep up to date with Believers Talk. You keep up to date with BewareTheStampede.com, because, again, there's going to be a lot of cool things coming in 2019. Also, like I said, #sports, always fun, always a good time. And I'm teaming with them, too, to make sure you guys get the best coverage, Buffalo Bills coverage during the games, live play-by-play and analysis and reactions. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, but more position battles. Talk about that tight end position, right? I mean, you want to talk about injuries. Unfortunately, the Tyler Kroft injury, pretty much our biggest injury right now, right? We know that that's probably going to linger into the regular season. And we want to make sure he's fully healthy, too. We have to remember, this is the same foot that he broke last year. He rebroke the same foot as last year. So this time, slow down on the recovery process. If it takes to week 8, if it takes to week 9, like I said, the second half of the season is really our tough stretch, like week 10 and on. That's when we would love to have that extra weapon for that, the 6-7 week stretch. If he's healthy, come week 10, week 11, he's fresh. Where everyone else on every other team has already played 9-10 weeks, their legs are feeling it. He's going to come in fresh, and hopefully he'll be able to produce. If that's what it takes, if he's back in the first 2 months, I just hope he doesn't come back too soon. And we all saw some of the other guys that are currently on the PUP list, or the NFI list, and those names we know. Frank Gore, again, I said Frank Gore before. I don't think there's any real injury there. I think, he's just, at that point in his career where training camp isn't a necessity and he can get some rest. Doesn't have to work those legs all the time. He can rest on the sideline and just maybe go on a bike or something, and then he'll be ready to go for the season. We know Frank Gore is going to be ready to go come the start of the NFL season. It shows how much Brandon really wanted Oliver for it. Yeah, absolutely. If you were watching Embedded, it does. And Anthony, Dawson Knox absolutely could be the number 1 tight end. Ronald asks, how is John Brown's route tree running? John Brown's not the greatest route runner in the world, guys, but that's okay. That's not his job. His job is to open up the defense, or open up the offense, I should say, by making the defense spread out more than they want to. We saw last season, in the first 4 weeks of the season, John Brown and Joe Flacco actually really worked well together. If you look at John Brown's stats and look at when he caught a lot of those passes with Joe Flacco, and then then Jackson came in, Lamar Jackson came in. And I'm not going to insult Jackson's passing ability. I think he has the potential to be a good passer. What I'm going to say is that him and Brown were just not on the same page. And you can see that. And when Jackson was asked to look at progressions and things like that, he was asked to be Lamar Jackson, and that's what got Baltimore to the playoffs. So there's no problem there. But when you're talking about a 17-week season, 16-week season, it's going to be a lot harder for him. But when you look at John Brown's stats, his stats definitely lean favorable to when Joe Flacco was in. Hopefully, we can get that same kind of working together that they did with Josh Allen and him, that camaraderie. We have some updates here, guys. I'm making sure it's not anything that we worry about football related. So, but let's go over some of these things that are football related. The holdouts, right? We're talking about the Zeke Elliott holdout. We're talking about Melvin Gordon. Like I said, I'm really happy that we don't have to worry about holdouts this year, guys. It's been a while since the Bills really had to worry about a holdout. Can't remember the last one off the top of my head. I'm sure someone in the comment section can. But it's really good to see that. We saw in Jacksonville, they're going to have their defensive ends holding out there. So there's some holdouts going down right now in the NFL. Happy to see that Buffalo Bills are not one of them. Zach asked, do you think John Brown will get over 1,000 yards with Allen this year? I don't think Brown will get over 1,000 yards this year. I don't think a Buffalo Bills receiver will get over 1,000 yards this year, just because I could see Josh Allen spreading the ball out. I think I said this in a previous video. I think every single one of our receivers will have somewhere between 45 and 65 receptions, which when you look at number one, you probably want to see a little bit more production, but like Coach McDermott has said, we don't have a true number one, and that's okay. If you think of like the number 4 wide receiver on most teams, you're not going to get 45 to 50 receptions from them. So let's say our number 4 wide receiver is 45. I'm happy then if John Brown has 65 catches. Now, John Brown, the good thing about him, which would help him get over 1,000 yards, is, like I said, he takes the top off, right? So he'll be getting a lot of those deep bombs thrown by Josh Allen. So you talk about 1,000 yards in a season, I think you're talking about 75, 80 yards a game, something like that. So it is possible. Again, some of those games he might get that with one catch, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see a Buffalo Bills wide receiver getting over 1,000 yards this season. But it would be fun to see. It would be fun to see if John Brown gets over 1,000 yards, and if I'm correct that every receiver is going to have somewhere between 45 and 65 receptions. Again, there are certain signs that say, hey, we're going to win the division. That would be one of them. That would definitely be one of them. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment if you just enjoy listening to what we have to say. I appreciate you guys joining. Hit that subscribe button. Again, one shy of 800. Hit that subscribe button. Be number 800. We're going to keep doing this, guys, through 2019. I appreciate all the support. And again, we're giving away the Andre Reed signed mini helmet. If you weren't here earlier, go to www.bewarethestampede.com for your chance to win this Andre Reed signed mini helmet. We're going to go ahead and keep going, guys. 8:53 again, 9:30 tomorrow morning starts training camp. Who knows? Maybe we'll be out here all night. Maybe we'll be out here all 12 hours. You guys join me, and we'll get ready to start training camp together again. I really look forward to that. But you look at that tight end, Dawson Knox can absolutely be number 1 wide receiver or tight end. I think the injury to Tyler Kroft is unfortunate, but does open up the doors for Dawson Knox, for Tommy Sweeney, for Lee Smith. These guys who have been working hard every single day. I think Dawson Knox might surprise some people. Now again, you look at the tight end position, you look at Brian Daboll's offense, normally not a huge tight end guy, but at the same time, if the talent's there, you got to go with it. And we know that we have some good blocking tight ends there, right? So I think that it's well up for grabs, but Baltimore, to Ronald's point, Baltimore's offense completely changed around Lamar Jackson. And again, I don't know if they can do that this year. More explosive version of Tyrod Taylor. I sometimes think Tyrod Taylor got bad rap in Buffalo. In his 3 years in Buffalo, I think his first season was absolutely his best season. But he was never for sure named the starter, right? He always had to look over his back shoulder. And, you like competition, but you also, like this year, you want to look at a guy and say, you're the guy. You lead us, and we never gave Tyrod Taylor that ability. I'm not going to say that we shouldn't move down from Tyrod Taylor. I truly believe that we should have. I think that we needed to at this time. But sometimes I feel like Tyrod Taylor didn't get a fair shake. Tyrod Taylor's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. I think we got the most out of Tyrod Taylor that we could get. Wild card team, wild card playoff team. Maybe sneak by, get you that wild card weekend win. But you need to have a good defense around him to do that. And we've seen quarterbacks like a Trent Dilfer, like some other quarterbacks I can't think of off the top of my head, who have won Super Bowls, who haven't been the showstopper, who haven't been the great quarterbacks that some of them have been, like Joe Montana, things like that. Tom Brady, of course, are some to come to mind. But you need a great defense to that. And unfortunately, during the Rex Ryan years, we did not have a great defense, and it showed on the field. But it's nice to have that dominant defense back. And I think we're going to be dominant again this season. I think about Tre'Davious White. We're returning 10 of 11 starters on defense, and the only one we're not returning is probably going to be substitute with Ed Oliver at defensive tackle with Kyle Williams retiring. I mean, that's a pretty good setup, guys. That's a pretty good setup to have another dominant defense. I think we missed out on some turnovers last season, right? It's hard to repeat the turnover battle every single season. 2 seasons ago, we kicked butt in the turnover differential. Last season, not so much. I expect to see us back in the top 5 in turnover differential. If we are, I expect to see this defense in the top 2 again as far as total defense towards the end of the season. I think we have the potential to be that dominant. I think Trey White has been underrated, and I think that's going to drive him. I think Poyer and Hyde are two of one of the best safety duos, if not the best safety duo in the NFL. I think the depth we have at cornerback, which again is going to be another position battle, right? Talk about that cornerback 2 position. I really like Taron Johnson. I really like Levi Wallace. With the retirement of Gaines, that kind of opens up the spot even more. You talk about Johnson that we got from Houston. He was a former first-round pick. Can he pick it up now? Again, he missed most of last season. He was injured week 1 and stayed out the rest of the year. So does that mean he's fresh? Yes, but that also means he might be a little rusty when it comes to an NFL shape. Anthony, so I think we keep 6 wide receivers. I think I put 7 in my prediction. I think 5 of them will be Brown, Beasley, Zay, Foster, and Roberts for returns. The 6th is going to be either Sills or Duke Williams. I think it will be Duke. Guys, if you've watched my channel, you know my thoughts on Duke Williams. And again, I know this has got me in a lot of hot water. I think Duke Williams might be a little overhyped. If you look at the leading wide receiver last year for the CFL, the guy was picked up by Minnesota at the beginning of the 2018 season, played 16 games, 1 catch all season. And he led the CFL in 2017 in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Talk about Duke Williams led in yards. And the CFL and the NFL, 2 totally different games. Again, with a wide receiver getting a 10-yard head start, a little bit easier. 20-yard end zones, a little bit easier to get room when you're inside the red zone. Not saying he's not a good wide receiver. Not saying we don't need that height. I think we do. But we need the best 6 or 7 wide receivers on this team. So we'll see what happens. Why is it asking me if I want to show or hide that? There's nothing wrong with that, so show. Fantastic Fish, welcome to Believers Talk. Yeah, I'm 1 away from 800. If you want to be that 800th guy, you're already subbed, thanks a lot. But I don't know why it asked me to review your comment. I don't see anything wrong with that comment. Sometimes YouTube makes me question things. For example, some of you might not have been notified that I went live. You'll be watching this later and you'll be like, I didn't know Joe went live, or else I haven't been following or watching, and I know you would have, so don't feel bad. But I don't know why YouTube sometimes works the way it does, but I appreciate all of you who have joined me. So again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please be sure to do so as we keep moving forward. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Fantastic Fish, imagine that you're a Dolphins fan. So I appreciate you coming onto this channel anyway. I go over to TD Fins Talk all the time, listen to what he has to say about the Dolphins. I think it's great to keep up to date with teams, especially in your division. You want to keep up with what they're doing. I watch Jet Central. I watch TD Fins Talk. I don't currently have a Patriots YouTube channel that I watch. So if you have a Patriots YouTube channel, it's really good. Let me know. Julio Jones has stated that he's going to mess around and try to get 3,000 yards receiving this year. He's one of the few guys I wouldn't put past, right? You have Matt Ryan there, stud quarterback. I think I think it's impossible to do, but it would be fun to watch him give it a go, right? It'd be fun to watch him go over 2,000 yards. If you ask me, I think that'd be a lot of fun to watch. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think 3,000 is a little bit of a stretch. Again, we talked about some of the holdouts: Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon. The Chargers GM has said, has come out and said we have a strong group of guys without Melvin Gordon. So it looks like there is going to be a little bit of a holdout issue there in LA with the LA Chargers as far as will Melvin Gordon hold out the whole season. I don't think Melvin Gordon's value is as high as Le'Veon Bell's value. So I think at some point he will have to come back. But who knows? Maybe Le'Veon Bell set a trend. But a trend at wide receiver is a little bit tougher, or at running backs a little bit tougher. I've been listening to Mike or Golick and Wingo in the morning recently, and they talk about the running back position overall and how it's not as important in the NFL as it used to be. And it's not. Devin Singletary, 3rd-round pick. He could be a really good stud. And that's what it takes. So you draft your running back, you run him into the ground for 5 years, then you go get another one. They're 4 years if it's a 3rd-round draft pick, so you'll see what happened. Oh, yeah, Bills fan. Changed my username, though, LOL. And, yeah, Jet Central is great. Yeah, he absolutely is. He absolutely is. I love watching Jet Central. We did a couple collaboration videos last year when we played the Jets. Look forward to playing Jets week 1. So we'll see what happens there. Again, we're going through some of these holdouts, things like that. Jay Ajayi was medically cleared. Again, the running back position pretty full already in Buffalo, so I don't see us in the Jay Ajayi talks. I think there are a couple teams out there that could use running back. I think Jay Ajayi's a good back. I remember a few seasons ago when he played for the Dolphins. Seemed like he would always do well against Buffalo. So we'll see what happens. Will the Bills win the first game? Guys, I'm going to tell you what. Welcome, Brandon. Two Believers Talk again. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button, guys. It just helps out the channel a lot. And the best part is it's free to do. It's not that hard. You use your mouse, click. If you have a touchscreen, you don't even have to click your mouse. Just click the thumbs up button. So I appreciate that. Will the Bills win the first game? Here's the deal to me, guys. I think that first game is... they always say the next game is the most important, but I think that first game against the Jets is the most important game of the season. It really is going to tell us where the Bills are at. If the Bills lose, even if it's a struggle, I think it's going to be really tough for the Bills to say, hey, we're a playoff team, because we're still looking up at New England, even though, again, I think we can fight for the division this year. And to say that we're looking up at the Jets would be really tough to do. If we lose one to the Jets, that means we probably have to beat the Patriots at least once to consider ourselves a threat as a playoff team. And that's just really tough to do when you've been 5-18 or 5-23 against the New England Patriots since Tom Brady's been there, and 3 of those wins were without Tom Brady in. You don't see that. You don't see us beating him both times. It's gonna be really hard to beat him once. I will say this though: I'm really happy we get the Jets week 1, and here's why. Even though after Le'Veon Bell served a 4-game suspension when he got caught with LeGarrette Blount, Week 5, he came in against Kansas City, played really well, actually. He ran for over 150 yards. No scores, but he did pretty well. I don't know how he's going to do after a full season. Even during the offseason, or even during the season last year, we heard about how he's gained weight. At some point, I heard they gained somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds, and we're not talking about muscle. And so he had to work hard to lose that. And now that could all be rumors. I didn't see him. But at the same time, where was his mind at? Where was his mentality? While we were fighting last season, when we were all fighting together, team camaraderie, things like that, there he was not playing, just watching at home. And then you look at OTAs this season, where was he? He was working out. I'm not going to say he doesn't have a good workout regimen. I think he does. I think he's a beast. But at the same time, he wasn't with his team, his new team. So I'm really happy we have him week 1. I think it's going to take him a minute or two to get acclimated to the New York Jets, and I think that will show maybe week 1, maybe week 2, and maybe we can take advantage of that. But we do have to tie things up front. Again, this is the 16th run defense last year in the Buffalo Bills, so we need to make sure that improves. We don't want Le'Veon Bell running for over 150 yards against us. And, I think that we can beat them week 1. I think we can go into New York, New Jersey, and beat the Jets. And go 1-0. And then, then we play Giants week 2, like Ronald alluded to. Probably, hopefully, can win week 1 and week 2. Then we have the home opener. It's going to be an emotional start, guys, with the Pancho Villa remembrance thing. And, I know they're going to do a great job with that. And I really think we have a good chance to start 3-0. I would be really surprised if we're not at least 2-1 going into that New England Patriots game week 4 in Buffalo. That'll be a true test, obviously, of where we're at. But if we're 3-0 at that time, expect that to be maybe even moved up to a prime time game now that flex scheduling pretty much is all season round. Fantastic Fish, I honestly would be surprised if we lose week 1. I don't think we'll win the division, but crossing my fingers for a wild card spot. I thought about this, and this is completely unprecedented on so many levels, right? We've never been a part of, at no time in history, you look at the great dynasties in the NFL prior to the Patriots. You talk about the Steelers of the 70s. You're talking about the Niners of the 80s. You're talking about the Cowboys and the Bills, if you ask me, of the 90s. But now we're part of something that's never been done. We're talking about pretty much a 20-year a dynasty here. 2001 to 2019, they've lost the division once. I mean, you're talking about pretty much a 20-year dynasty. How does something like that come to an end, right? It's not like San Fran, where you saw Steve Young getting old, retiring. Jerry Rice got traded or got signed somewhere else with Oakland. It's not like the Cowboys, where they lost all these pieces. Same thing. Like, the Patriots have lost pieces and gained them back and lost pieces and done it with what they've had. And so part of you wants to say, well, they're going to keep doing it as long as Belichick and Brady are there. But then there's another part of me that says no one's going to see it coming. It's going to blindside everybody. Because you have this mentality of, I'm going to go with the Patriots until they prove me wrong, right? And if you're a betting man, if you have sense, if you're not a fan of any team in the AFC East, you're going to say that. Like, you're going to go with the Patriots until they prove you wrong. Well, at some point, they're going to prove you wrong. And why not this season? Why not now? Why not us? Why not the Buffalo Bills? Right now, got a young quarterback, got a team that's pretty much stayed together, right? I just talked about the defense, 10 out of 11 starters. Hopefully DeMarco gets cut in camp. I know some people want DeMarco cut. I think he will get cut. I'm not going to say hopefully. I like DeMarco. I know he only played like 52% of offensive snaps last season, but I like DeMarco. I think he's a good, hard-working fullback. I think the fullback position's definitely lost luster, from a decade ago where the fullback was an important position. We all remember Mike Allstott about 20 years ago just running over people. You don't need fullbacks like you did back then. So I get that. So it's just a part of the job. It's just a part of the NFL today. But I like DeMarco overall. But yes, I do think with that loaded running back room, I think DeMarco's an unfortunate casualty. But you're talking about position battles there. You're talking about who's going to be the running back 4, right? I mean, we all think McCoy's going to be there. We all think I'm pretty sure both Devin Singletary and Frank Gore are going to be there. Only 18 teams have a FB. Is that Facebook? A football? What? What is your surprise team in the NFL? Brandon Nichols asked me, what is my surprise team in the NFL? I don't know if it's a surprise or not. I think, surprise negatively, I think it's going to be the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears might finish 3rd in the NFC North. I think both the Vikings and Packers have a chance to pass the Bears this season. I love Khalil Mack. I think he's unbelievable. But I'm still not huge on Trubisky. That's all I'm saying. Oh, fullback. I don't know why. I couldn't think, Andrew. So thanks for correcting me there. But yeah, fullback. So yeah, I know the fullback is a waste position, not waste position, but losing what used to be. So as far as negatively, I think my surprise team is going to be the Chicago Bears. I think they might finish 3rd in the division. I think the surprise team positively, that's a little bit tougher now. Actually, that's a little bit tougher. I think the Steelers. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Steelers just because they lost Bell, they lost Brown. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Steelers win the North. To be honest with you, I know we play the Steelers this season, so I hope that's one game they don't win. But I would not be surprised if that. Hey, D'Antonio, you never know. You just never know what the coaching staff's looking for, and that's something that I was trying to tell people after I watched Embedded. A lot of people were trying to make predictions of who they saw a lot of, who they didn't see a lot of. So it makes you wonder, oh, are they favored? No, it means nothing, guys. We saw what they wanted us to see. That's all that means. Again, guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button, like this video. I appreciate all you guys joining me. Steelers all the way, he says. But yeah, again, guys, now we're close to 24 hours until training camp. Training camp starts tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Currently 9:10 on the East Coast. Have you predicted the Bills record? I have not. My prediction for the Bills. And I'm going to do both. I'm not just going to do a Bills prediction. I'll do a Bills prediction show. I'm going to predict the whole NFL season, every team, playoffs, and the Super Bowl. So I'm going to predict the Bills. I'll go into detail about the Bills, and I'll predict the NFL season, give you my Super Bowl teams, give you my Super Bowl winner. I don't think it's going to be the same as the USA Today, but we'll see. And I'm going to do that right after week 3 of preseason, just because after week 3 is that dress rehearsal game. By that time, you'll know most of the injuries going around in the NFL, other teams, things like that. Week 4, we know most starters are not going to play, so I'll feel most comfortable doing that prediction at that time. Guys, I've gone back and forth on the Buffalo Bills prediction. That's why I just can't seem to, I don't want to give you my approval yet, because I've gone back and forth as far as how the Bills are going to do. Again, like I said, there are situations where I see the Buffalo Bills fighting for this division, not just fighting for a wild card spot. There are absolutely moments where I see, hey, a wild card spot would be nice. And then there are moments, if you saw on Twitter, I put a poll out there today as far as what would make you disappointed for the Buffalo Bills. What's your do or die for the Buffalo Bills? Finishing 8-8 to me is not a complete disappointment. I would be disappointed not making the playoffs, just like everyone else. I want to see us win the Super Bowl this season. You know, it's Super Bowl or bust every year for a lot of people, and I don't disagree with that. Every team should go into the season saying Super Bowl bust mentality. You think Terry Jackson plays a lot in the preseason? I absolutely agree with you. We start play against two of the best backs in the league. And you're right. You know, after week 2, our run defense might be ranked, 15th or whatever it might be, right? But that doesn't mean we don't have a great run defense. That means we play 2 teams who are going to rely on the run, and you really have great backs to back up the run, right? So our run defense might look a little weak after week 2, or look a little average, but then you might see us step it up. Remember week 1 last year, played against Melvin Gordon. He actually tore us up pretty good. The run game, if I recall correctly. No, it was mostly Phillip Rivers who tore us up last year, week 1. So, but yeah, you're right, D'Antonio. I don't know how you want to pronounce your name, but anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. We play 2 of the best backs in the league. I do agree with you, Fox87, that Tyree Jackson is going to play a lot this preseason. I think we want to keep Josh Allen as healthy as possible, of course. We want to keep him off the field as much as possible. And then, of course, you're talking about Barkley. You want to keep him healthy as well, backing up Josh Allen. Pass defense should be number 1 after 2 weeks through, though. Yeah, passing defense should look pretty good, both A, because we're playing the top running offenses possibly in the league, and B, because you look at the quarterback play on both those teams. Even though some people are saying that Sam Darnold's going to have a better season than Josh Allen, I really beg to differ there. I really think people need to look at what they're talking about. But you never know. You never know. You know, we have the luxury of looking at 3 two-year quarterbacks in our division. Wouldn't be surprised if one of them really steps up. And as Bills fans, we're hoping that it's Josh Allen and not Sam Darnold who steps it up a little bit in that game. Just call you DB. You got it. I'm calling you DB from now on. But yeah, I really hope, obviously, that's Josh Allen that steps up his game and does us proud as Bills fans. Again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Believers Talk if you haven't already. Really enjoying this. Really enjoying time with you guys. Getting ready. Again, 12 hours away from the start of NFL training camp. Guys, man, it's going to be exciting. You talk about the 20-plus free agent signings. I think we're at 27 now with the most recent free agent signings for the Buffalo Bills. And again, I talked about this in my last video, guys. You got to give our front office a lot of credit, right? I mean, come on. You're talking about Brandon Beane, first of all, coming in there and getting rid of that dead cap situation that we had last year. We had so much dead cap space. It was ridiculous. The contracts that Doug Whaley's regime and previous regimes put the Bills under just really made it hard to continue to try and improve this team. And here we are just a year later, and there's literally, very minimal dead cap space. I mean, last year we were tops in the league, and it wasn't even close in dead cap salary that we were giving players. We had the most by far. And to see this year where it's very minimal, and it continues to be smart contracts going all around the board. You look at every single contract we have. I think one of the worst ones might be Ty Nsekhe. But that's just due to age. He can really surprise. He may even, we watch embedded. He could probably be our starting right tackle at some point this season. So really looking forward to that. Brandon Beane, dumb man, absolutely DB. You said it right. Check out Jets YouTube channels. I ain't scared. Jet Central is really the only Jets YouTube channel to check out. That's because he's really keeping you up to date there. So that's the one I would recommend if you have if you want a good Jets YouTube channel. But yeah, Brandon Beane, I think, is an underrated GM. I think Coach McDermott's an underrated head coach. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. And not even just talk about Josh Allen being an underrated quarterback. But we'll see what happens. But I think the Buffalo Bills, I think they are going to surprise a lot of people this year. Maybe the Bills, I know I was asked earlier, who's my surprise team? Maybe the Buffalo Bills can fall into that category. And when we talk about a team that when Vegas started out with the odds, I think we were plus 475 or something like that, 425 to make the playoffs. Easy money. I was telling everyone, bet on the Bills. And now you see that number decreasing, right? I think last I checked, we're at plus 350. If you don't know, that means if you bet $100, you win $350, which is still a good bet, right? I think that's still a really good bet. I think, he's been a cap whiz, absolutely. And to improve the roster the way you have, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, the Jets and Bills, to me, going at the end of last season, we have the Jets, we have the Bills, the same team, right? Same type of needs, maybe some differences. I know Jets need a middle linebacker. We have ours for the next few years to come. But I was looking at them, I was like, same basic principle. And the Jets went out and spent a lot of money on a few players, right? You talk about Le'Veon Bell, you talk about C.J. Mosley. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying I don't know if that's bad or good. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to be really interesting because you talk about the Bills, and talk about a team that signed 26, 27, 28 free agents. All good, all above average, all to improve this team. And we'll see what they can do. So it's really going to be interesting to see who did it right? And just because this time it's right doesn't mean it's always this way. But who did it and which way is best for a team, right? Is it best to sign the stars and get 3, 4 really good stars? Or is it best to sign the 24, 25, 26 really good players? Not the stars, but like a level or two below that, right? I mean, you talk about Cole Beasley, he might not be a star, but man, he's consistent. He's consistent, and you gotta love that consistency. And you talk about John Brown, you talk about a guy who can really just open the field up, and that's exciting. You talk about Zay Jones. I know we didn't pick him up this offseason, but you talk about another guy who I think is underrated going into the season just because he's had a rough first 2 years, and that third year is really when you want to see that progression really rise another notch. You talk about Mitch Morse. I think Mitch Morse is one of the best centers in the game. I know PFF ranked him 16th. I think that's ridiculous. I think he's definitely a top 10 center. And I just really look to see that. We dodged a bullet by not getting AB, in my opinion. I would not have been upset if we got AB, but definitely makes free agency look differently. I think we have a better team now that we don't have Antonio Brown. I think it would have been really hard to sign like a Mitch Morse or something like that if we had Antonio Brown. But you can't deny Antonio Brown's talent, right? You just can't deny Antonio Brown's talent. So I think Oakland Raiders got a good deal there. But again, we're going to see what happens come the start of the NFL season. The Jets strap themselves with those huge contracts. We benefit. And that's very true unless the Jets win and we don't. If the Jets win, that's all that matters. Winning solves everything. So But the good news is they're not. Very few people are talking about the Bills as the offseason winners. I feel like Cleveland's talked a lot about who won the offseason. But you think about when people talk about who won the offseason, a lot of times those are not the best teams come regular season. It normally takes them a year or two to get everything out, get everything underneath them. I think Baker Mayfield might have a huge drop this year in production. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a good quarterback overall. I just think it's really hard to live up to that hype that he has now around him. I mean, he in fewer games than 16, I think it came in week 3, he broke the record for rookie quarterback touchdown passes. That's pretty dang good. So, but I just think he's going to not live up to those expectations. I think he might disappoint some people. And that's why, again, I think the Steelers have a good shot to win the AFC North. But you'll find out about how I really feel about it come the end of August when I do my preseason or my season predictions. Like I said, I'm going to do every single team. So we'll see what happens. If the Bills lose, like Brandon Nichols asks, if the Bills lose like they did against the Chargers last season, how would I feel? I would definitely feel more defeated than I did last season after week 1. You're talking about a division game. You're talking about a situation where who's your back? Like when in the second half of that game, we went to Josh Allen. We actually looked better, right? We looked better. At one point, he came out in the second half. We started that second half. We got that touchdown. Made it, I believe it was 24-10, 23-10 at that point. Excuse me. And it was looking better. And then we got that touchdown at the end too, his first passing touchdown this season. And you showed signs of improvement, right? You saw Josh Allen. Good, we got Josh Allen in there. That was against Baltimore, by the way. Yeah, you're right. That was against Baltimore. Chargers was week 2. Still don't look too great in that game either. But yeah, it would definitely be a little more deflating of a feeling than I was talking about the Chargers game. Yeah, the Baltimore game, it would definitely be more deflating. Who do you go to, Matt Barkley? I mean, what do you do at that point? I mean, obviously, as a coach, as a fan, you try to put a good spin on it. But man, if we lose that one 47-3, it's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be a little tough to bounce back from. The Jets fans will be feeling pretty good, right? Jets fans will be feeling pretty good. But it's not the end of the world. It's still 1 week. It's still 1 week. You go in, you play the Giants, and you say, hey, if we beat the Giants 1-1, score wouldn't matter. If we lose 47-3, if we lose 14-13, you have to have the same mindset. I don't see the Jets scoring 47 points. I mean, that to me would be the most upsetting part. Do I think any Bills players will be on the top 100 list? I think Trey White should absolutely be on the top 100 list. I think it's ridiculous if he's not in the top 100. Tre'Davious White should have been Rookie of the Year. Tre'Davious White had a great second year, despite what some analytics say. I think Tre'Davious White should absolutely be in the top 100. And to be honest with you, maybe even top 50. That's where I have him. Peterman isn't playing, so we have a chance to win. Yeah, Peterman's not going to throw 5 picks, and if Josh Allen throws 5 picks, we have an issue. Like, we have a serious issue. Let's not kid ourselves. But we can only move on from that point. If we lose that game 47-3, you really have to start worrying about Brian Daboll's job. You really have to start worrying about, if it keeps up, obviously you have to start worrying about Coach McDermott's job. I think Coach McDermott's job's safe next season no matter what happens, but not no matter what happens, because if we lose 47-3 and our offense doesn't show any sign of improvement, again, Josh Allen, Brandon Beane, Coach McDermott, they're all linked together at this point. They're all grouped together. So really the success of Josh Allen or the lack of success on Josh Allen really doesn't just affect the team on the field. It's really going to affect us off the field at all. What game I'm most looking forward to this year? Well, I'm going to the Eagles game, so I'm looking forward to that one the most. I look forward to going to Buffalo, seeing a lot of friendly faces, being able to hang out with some of you guys at the game, maybe even playing something Saturday night. We might even do that. So, again, stay posted with Believer's Talk. We can keep you updated on everything going on in 2019. Have a lot of fun. But if you're asking me what game I'm looking forward to the most just because of the game itself, it's going to be week 4 against the Patriots. Because like I said, I see us no worse than 2-1 going into that game. And I think that's going to be a real test to where we are at that time. I think, if we go into that game 3-0, and the Patriots are 3. Well, it doesn't matter what the Patriots record is, to be honest with you, unless they're 0-3. But it doesn't matter. If we can beat the Patriots in Buffalo, that's huge. Huge. absolutely, for our momentum. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that Eagles game. Hashtag sports. Welcome to Believers Talk. And again, guys, we are teaming up with Hashtag Sports this year on sportscaster.com. Link in the description below. Go sportscaster.com/hashtag sports. And we will be giving you, not only are they live every Saturday, we'll be giving live play-by-play and reaction coverage to the Buffalo Bills every single week. So you want to join us there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mario and Paul, we always have a great time. So you want to make sure hit us up there. Also, like I said, follow them on YouTube. And like I said, that Eagles game, I'm going to get there. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a blast. No matter where we meet up, no matter what we do, we're going to have a blast. Definitely going to have to go to Tim Hortons with you guys. Hashtag sports. We'll see you there. Get myself one of those Boston cream donuts that Paul loves so much. So we're going to have a good time. But yeah, the Pats game will be the best game this year to me, week 4. If we can win that game, just imagine if we're 3-0, let's say we're 3-0, the Pats are 3-0 going into that game, and we beat them in Buffalo. Imagine how excited we will be. Now again, well, that means it's Mario joining me here. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I did hear Fantastic Fish. I did hear Brandon Bean say that in the Embedded series. Last time his team played on Thanksgiving, they end up going to the Super Bowl. So let's make that a trend right now and make that happen again. I think the Dallas Cowboys are in for a rude awakening, especially if they don't have Zeke. Imagine if they don't have Zeke for that game. You know, and as I said, I listened to Go Like a Wingo, and I think it was just this morning that they were talking about Zeke adds a different element to the Cowboys. When you all right, thinking about the Cowboys, when you get ready to play the Cowboys, you don't think about how Dak can beat you, right? It's all about Zeke Elliott. When you think about playing the LA Chargers, you have to worry about Phillip Rivers. That's your number one concern. And that's where Zeke has the bargaining chip that Gordon probably does not have, because he does mean that much to the Dallas Cowboys. So it'll be interesting to see what is one injury outside of Allen that would really hurt this team. If you're talking about training camp, I think one injury that would really hurt this team, that's really a good question. There's a couple names that just automatically float in your head, right? I think Trey White. I would have to say Tre'Davious White. You don't have that shutdown corner mark. I like our cornerbacks, and I think that CB2, CB3 competition is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I think, there's a lot of guys that could step up. But if you don't have that shutdown corner, you have the number ones of every team you have to worry about. You're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster this year. You're talking about, N'Keal Harry from the Patriots. You're talking about these guys. You never know. But I think, Trey White, if he went down, that would be devastating to this team. Next, you got to think about Tremaine Edmonds, right? Maybe even Matt Milano. You look at last year, our run defense after Matt Milano went out kind of got worse. I mean, I'm not going to say that was great before he went out, but yeah, right. You're absolutely right. It's like sports, when they lost Josh Norman, it didn't pan out for them as well as they want in Carolina. It didn't go as well when he got, not when he got hurt, but when he left for Washington. I mean, I still remember, was it Julio Jones got over 300 yards against him or something like that? He was just unstoppable, and I think that's the problem we would run into with the number ones. You talk about some of those good Levi Wallace, you talk about Teron Johnson, great CB2s possibly. I think they have a chance to be great, but it's a whole new level when you're talking about that number one cornerback. So yeah, torched them. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I think that would probably be the most devastating injury outside of Josh Allen. After we lose Josh Allen, you have to rethink our whole season at that point. I mean, you're talking about devastation. That'd be great. That would not be great. That'd be the opposite of great. Hey, John Roberts, welcome to Believers Talk. Good to have you here. Been on for about an hour now. Again, 12 hours away from the start of training camp. I'm so excited. I could be on here with you guys up until 9:30 tomorrow morning. That's how excited I am. I just cannot wait for the start of training camp. Unfortunately, I do work tomorrow, so that sometimes get in the way. The injuries don't exist. Yeah. Okay. We'll believe that when we see it. Unfortunately, they exist every year. It's not a matter, to me, it's not a matter of if a big injury is not going to happen somewhere. There's going to be a big injury that happens somewhere, right? Let's say, why? See, like YouTube's trying to get me to hide your comment. Whatever the comment is, I'm just like, it's like hashtag sports is comment. Do you want to show or hide it? Never know with Mario, he might I don't know what he's doing over there. Show. Let's get Joe out. Hey, absolutely. Let everyone know that we're here. Thanks a lot. Much respect for hashtag sports. You know how much I love you guys over there. Watch every video. And so I don't know if you saw my comment about your video today about the three current and 3 previous Buffalo Bills. I picked. My gosh, why can't I think of him? The quarterback that I picked, Jack Kemp. I picked Jack Kemp just for you, Mario. Just so you know, Jack Kemp, quarterback. Used to be the secretary of Hub. I mean, I think that would just be a great mind to get into. So, Paul talks like the sailor, not me. Yeah, you're both funny guys. Where can I watch training camp? Kemp was awesome. I mean, I mean, obviously we only watched film of him, but man, just talking about a great mind to get into, right? And I was, it was funny when I was thinking of my 6. The previous ones were easy, right? I just was naming them. But man, thinking of 3 current ones was really tough for me. So you got me there. But I thought I had a good list going there. Fantastic Fish asks, where can I watch training camp? To be honest, I'm gonna just be following it on Twitter most of the time. Not sure how much, because it stinks. I think they only have 5 public practices this season, or 5, not public, but 5 practices that the fans can come to, and that's really down around the league. If you look around the league, as far as how many practices the fans can go to, and it's really a shame. But you're getting into a time where, again, there's a huge discussion about if we want to go to 18-week seasons and things like that. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. I don't think the Players Association will let that happen. But obviously, the owners want it, right? I mean, how much more revenue would you get? I mean, honestly, I don't care if it's 18-game season, 24-game season, 32-game season. I'm going to watch, right? I'm going to watch until there's no more players on the field. And this is why. I mean, I've been waiting for training camp for, 2 months now. And it felt like forever. It felt like it was never going to get here. And now we're here, and I'm more excited. And yeah, guys, I know that Paul and Mario are both going to be there too. So go check them out. Like I said, Jeremy from BewareTheStampede.com, he's going to be there. So make sure you check, see if you can hook up with him too. He'll be giving away some free stuff. So in all honesty, if our Bills come to play, we will be 4-0. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think this Bills team can beat the Patriots. I think this Bills team, you're talking about Ed Oliver, Star Lotulelei getting some pressure on Tom Brady up the middle. We all know what Tom Brady's like when you have pressure up the middle. Tremaine Edmonds getting in there up the middle. Matt Milano, Sean Alexander, the beast that he is. Man, Sean Alexander had the most sacks of his career last season. You want to talk about old man? It doesn't matter. He had the most sacks of his career last season. He just did it. So we know he can do that again. We know he has that production in him. So I look forward to that. And yeah, I think we can be 4-0 as well. I would like to have dinner with Ralph Wilson to figure out why he made Wade Phillips bench Flutie and for Rob Johnson in the playoffs. And Ralph was one that I was thinking about, man. I mean, just think about all Ralph would know. You also think about, I know they said, future guys, and didn't matter if they were dead or alive. Well, what if it was Ralph Wilson when he was 90-something, when he was, sitting in the hospital? No, I'm there either. I'd want like a young 78, 79-year-old Ralph Wilson at my table so I can really pick his brain a little bit. But guys, I'm just so excited. John Roberts says, this Bills team is a tsunami the league is not ready for. I haven't been this excited since Doug Flutie. I can't remember being as excited as I am right now, but I probably say that every year at training camp. I probably do. I'm really excited. Last year it was when's Josh Allen going to start and how is he going to? This year it's simply how good can this Bills team be? And there's really a question mark there. Can this team, Fox A7, I saw his prediction show. Check that out if you haven't already. He said he could see us going 12-4. Why not? Why not Buffalo? Why not this team right now? But you get some sleep tomorrow, for tomorrow too, man. We'll talk to you later, Mario. Again, thanks a lot for joining me. I'll try to get some sleep, but man, it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. I'm so excited. 12 hours away from the start of training camp. We're going to have a good time. And like I said, guys, we're going to be hanging out with Hashtag Sports all 2019 and then beyond, right? We're going to have a great time. We're going to be hanging out with Jeremy from Beware the Stampede and Jason writing blogs or writing articles for Beware the Stampede. We're going to hang out with them all season long, so we want you there. Hashtag Why Not Buffalo. It's going to be a lot of fun this season, guys. Man, 2019. And not only is it going to be fun, you might see us win the division for the first time since 98, I think. I mean, it's going to be so much fun to see this happening. And you can see it. You can see it. Bills fans, as Bills fans, we want to not get as excited as I am right now. But I'm more excited about the start of training camp tomorrow than I am about the potential of this season. Camp highlights on YouTube. I don't know. I always have a hard time with copyright things. So I try to avoid doing any of that kind of stuff just to avoid having my channel shut down or suspended or whatever that might be. But Mario's going to be there from Hashtag Sports, so he might have some highlights or be showing some things. I don't know what they're planning on doing. But I always try to avoid that kind of stuff. So I won't have highlights for you. If someone has them on YouTube, I'll definitely be checking them out. The Buffalo Bills YouTube channel, they'll probably have some highlights for you. But again, they're going to show you what they want you to see. So, and if you go on Twitter, there's going to be people taking video with their phones and stuff like that. The great thing about today's day and age is you have so much technology. It's hard to get away with anything because you have so much technology. So yeah. FB is fullback. Yes, FB is fullback. I think that was talked about earlier with Patrick DeMarco possibly getting cut. And again, I think Patrick DeMarco will get cut. I really do. But we'll see what happens. I think someone commented saying there's only 15 fullbacks in the league. 15 teams that have a fullback right now. So be tough for Patrick DeMarco to keep his spot. Then you have McCoy, you have Singletary, you have Yeldon, you have Frank Gore. I mean, I don't think one of those four guys are going to make it. I think Yeldon might be the odd man out, but I know Singletary will be there. Right behind that, I think Gore is the most likely to be there. McCoy, again, I said this before. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if McCoy to make this team. I think he will. I'm pretty sure he will, but it wouldn't shock me, it wouldn't surprise me if he did not. So that means TJ Yeldon might be the odd man out. Do we keep all four of them? I mean, do we keep all four of them? That'd be tough. You go to the wide receiver position. Yeah, I see us keeping 7 because you look at, and that's not Sonoris Perry. Is he staying on for the special teams? Because you have Sonoris Perry, you have Roberts. Which one, if not both of them, are staying on for special teams? We knew at the end of last season we were going to pick up free agents just for our special teams unit, right? We have a great special teams unit. I think that's going to do nothing but help us out. I think with our new quarterback coach, I think Josh Allen's going to look awesome. You have Dorsey in there. I think that's going to be a great fit. Other position battles, talk about the CB2 position. I think that one's up for grabs. Like I said, with the retirement of Gaines, that definitely opens it up. I think there's a lot of fun stuff going on in Buffalo right now, guys. Again, 12 hours before the start of training camp. I hit 800. Whoever the 800 was, thank you. Congratulations to you. But thank you again for all the support I get, guys. Like Mario said earlier, guys, let's get to 1,000 before the start of the season. We're going to have a lot of fun this season. I look forward to it. But either way, I appreciate everything you guys do for me. I enjoy doing this. Again, whether I was on here with you live or not, I'd be this excited, and I'd be up till midnight, if not later, just chomping at the bit, just waiting for tomorrow, 9:30. Literally, no work's getting done from me 9:30 on tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna go into work, try to get as much done the first 2 hours I can, so that way I don't have to worry about the rest of the time. Because man, I'm gonna be so excited. And don't be surprised if something happens, guys. Don't be surprised if I go live tomorrow. So be sure to check out that. If there's something we have to keep you reported on, I'll try to go live tomorrow as well, just because there's so much going on. I look forward to covering it all for you. I'll cover it all for you right here on Believers Talk. We have the guys over at Hashtag Sports who will cover for you too, so you'll get different perspectives. And that's what I want. That's why I started this channel. I knew there were other Bills channels out there, but I want to give fans different perspectives, right? A lot of times you'll see me debate things and you really won't hear my answer because it's not my answer, just like yours in the grand scheme of things, might not matter, right? I know some of you want to hear my opinion, and I gladly give it. But at the same time, I just want you guys to think about both sides of each and every argument, right? The benefits of not cutting McCoy, the benefits of cutting McCoy, they're both there, right? You could see both of them. And at this point, Brandon Beane has earned my trust. Brandon Beane, Coach McDermott, they have earned my trust. Brian Daboll has some work to do. But they have earned my trust. And for that reason, I will trust Brian Daboll to an extent, right? Because Brian Daboll is Coach McDermott's hire. So I will trust Brian Daboll to an extent. I trust Leslie Frazier. I trust that coaching staff. I trust our what I'm trying to say, our GM, obviously, I really do, and I hope a lot of you guys feel that way too, because I think we're in for a fun season. I really do. I hope I'm not disappointed. Someone brought up, what if we lose to the Jets like we did Baltimore Week 1, 47-3? Then obviously it's gonna be a rough season, I think, but we'll still get through it, and we'll continue to keep believing. We'll believe in this team. Red and blue till I die, baby. So I look forward to keeping you up to date on the 2019 Buffalo Bills. And you know where to hit that subscribe button. You know where to like this video. And guys, again, I will continue to update you on 2019. #sports, BewareTheStampede.com. So much going on. Like I said, go to BewareTheStampede.com. Autograph mini helmet. Follow us on Twitter, and you will be entered to win this helmet. Log your entries at www.BewareTheStampede. I'll be up all night. Who knows what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to sharing it all with you this season. I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.